Hello and welcome to our New Mexico history course. I am Brandon Morgan, and you may or may not have already seen a couple of videos with me on them. If this is your first, it's great to be meeting you. Welcome to our class. I want to show you around our course on Blackboard just so that you'll know where to find everything that you'll need to succeed in our class over the next couple of weeks. Intersession courses can be a little daunting. They're quick, they're intensive, but they're also a lot of fun. They're super engaging, and I find them to be very rewarding. So I hope that you will as well. Before I get into the course tour, I just want to remind you and emphasize something that I say in most of my videos in the introductory stages of the class, and that is please contact me whenever you have any questions. Send me an email, send me a text, tweet me, whatever it may be. I'm always more than happy to help out whenever you have questions, especially if you're a little uncomfortable with any of the digital platforms that we'll be using, or if you're just not sure how to get started. Check out the video tutorials that I've embedded here in Blackboard and let me know what questions you have, and I will help you out with that. As you can see here, when you log on to our course, on the front page, there's a reminder to click Start Here to begin. Of course, that's only the very beginning of the semester. There is a link to announcements. I do make announcements frequently, so please do check that. This is a link to our course hashtag search on Twitter. If you have questions about that, there's a tutorial in the Reading Tweets tab in the course menu where you can see and learn more about that and what that means. And then if you want to look at your grades, your scores for the coursework, you can click here. As with many things in the technology, or in the world of technology, I should say, there are more than one way to do, or there is more than one way to do everything that we'll be doing together in class. So you can find multiple ways of getting at all the things that you need here in our Blackboard course. The two most important things to keep tabs on, though, are the syllabus and the learning modules. So please make sure that you have read and understood the syllabus. Use the learning modules to walk through all of the assignments that you'll need to do, and that way you'll make sure that you've completed everything that is required for the class. Of course, click Start Here if you've probably already done that if you're watching this video. I'm going to post it here, replace this old one once I create this one. Do look through the Start Here module. There are a lot of things there that are important points of reference. The academic integrity policy for CNM, for example. Also, if you need any technology in terms of getting access to Office 365, that's something that everyone has as being CNM students. You can get a free copy of Word and Excel and all of those kinds of software programs. That information is here in the Start Here module. There are also video tutorials and things for some of the platforms we'll be using this semester. Syllabus, of course, is in there. Do look at the instructor information tab. Beyond having a photo of me from a cruise that I went on with my family this past summer, and giving some information, it also gives you some information about what you can expect from me in terms of response time, grades, and what I expect of you. I do accept late work without penalty, so please do make note of that. You won't lose points for late work, but please try to keep up with the schedule, because if you fall behind, it can get difficult to get everything done in the short amount of time that we'll have together in the class. All right, so that stuff is there for you. Here's a quick view of the course schedule that's also in the syllabus, and the Blackboard calendar if that's something that you like to use. These tabs all contain information about the various types of assignments we'll be doing this intersession term, but you can also get to those through the learning modules. So please use the learning modules to work through the course. Of course, you'll start with Unit 1. I'm not going to show you Unit 1 because it's unique. It doesn't follow the same pattern that Units 2 through 6 will follow. All of those follow essentially the same pattern in terms of assignments. and expectations will just be covering different topics. So I'm going to click on Unit 2 to show you what one of these look like. So when you click into the learning module, you will see this intro and objectives page. It gives you a brief overview of the historical events and issues we'll be studying during that unit. Also, it gives you this list of things that we'll be doing during this unit. So during the first day of the unit, you'll need to complete the readings, view some of the film clips. You'll need to post your reading tweets, and you will need to submit the identification step of the timeline assignment. Then during the second day, you'll need to post the connection step, do your journal entry. Also, just a reminder that you'll need to do 2 of the 4 discussion forums available. Those are over here in the discussion tab in our course menu. So that's something that won't pop up in the learning modules, something that you will need to do. But again, that's just a reminder. Go over here, see what those are about, make sure that you get those done during our 2 weeks together. There are unit objectives, and then these videos that are still relevant, but they're old, as you can tell. You can probably get a sense of why I started shaving my head and why I've grown some facial hair. Anyway, hopefully I'll replace those sometime in the not too distant future. Just have to get a little time. You can navigate to the next part of the learning module with this arrow, or you can use the table of contents. Going to the next section, you'll find the list of readings. Of course, these are listed in the syllabus as well. Morgan, chapters 2, 3, and 4, that is the digital textbook that you will get from mytext.cnm.edu. So those are the chapters you'll need to look over. And again, I realize there's a lot of stuff here. You don't need to read everything word for word. Please use the headings. Please skim liberally, but make sure that you understand the major events and concepts. Focus in on things that you find particularly interesting and significant, and you can kind of gloss over some of the others. We will be talking about different events together, working on them on the timeline, so that's where you'll be able to build more of your knowledge as well. There are optional resources for you here, and then some questions to think about as you read. You don't have to do any assignments with those questions. They're just there to help you as you go along. The next section of every learning module is the film clips. And as you can read here, there are way more film clips than you'll be able to watch. These are here as a supplement to the reading to help you get a different perspective on the events and issues that we're learning about, to help you better understand some of the things that you may have had questions about. So again, just scroll down and watch the ones that you have time for. This learning module has an extra section. If you're interested in learning more about a current Indigenous movement, you can explore that. This reminds you to complete your reading tweets. So you can click here to go to the reading tweets assignment. This is the guidelines that explain what that assignment's about. Also remember, if you need the video tutorial, click here on the Reading Tweets tab under Course Content. The video tutorial's there. Then you go to Twitter, or you can use TweetDeck. You can click there and see what that's all about if it's something that you might want to do to post your work to Twitter. Remember to always type the hashtag #H2110, no spaces, in each of your tweets. That's how we will find everyone's work there on Twitter. The next section is for the timeline submissions. So you may have to click this to launch it. You can click here to get the instructions for the timeline assignment. All of the video tutorials and things are available in the timeline tab. If you click to launch this, it will take you to the folder where you can submit the ID step and the connection step. And I show you a little more about this in the tutorial for the timeline assignment for Tiki-Taki. But these are the places where you'll submit the Word document, or if you're not using Word, you're using Google Docs or whatever it is, or a PDF, you'll submit that copy of your work here, and you'll also post it to the class timeline on Tiki-Taki. All right, let me go back to the learning module. Just click the back button, and we'll get there. Next is the journal assignment. This does something similar. So when you click to launch this, you'll find the instructions for the journal assignment here. They're not there, but they are here. If you click See Journal Assignment Guidelines, that will give you the explanation of what to do for the journal assignment, and then you'll click Create Journal Entry to post your work here. Going back to the Learning module, the back button, each learning module has this self-assessment and looking ahead. So this reminds you, these are the things you should have done to complete all the work for this unit. Make sure you've done all those things. And then looking ahead, remember to do your discussion forums, and then think about the final project. So again, every learning module is laid out in essentially that same way, just so that there's a lot of consistency and continuity in the class. Let me know what questions you have as you go along. If you happen to be working on one of the modules, you go away from it because you're doing some work for the timeline assignment, and you want to find the timeline submission area without going back through the module itself, you can just click on Timeline and scroll past the instructions and the video tutorials once they load, down to these folders, and just find the unit that we're working on, click into that folder, and then you'll see those submission areas that I just showed you that you can also get to through the learning module. I think all of these are fairly self-explanatory. Make sure you click on all of them though to see what's there, and make sure that you understand all of the assignments. Down here, course communication, check the announcements regularly, as I mentioned. This allows you to send email via your CNM email account. This you'll click on to do online office hours if you want to contact me in that way. Remember, my office hours are 9 a.m. Every morning when our course is in session. I realize that many of you will be working in the evening or at night. I tend to not work at those times, but if you send me messages, I will respond to them as soon as I can, probably the next morning. And that's okay. If you need to wait on something because you're waiting for a response from me, that's more than fine. You can check grades there. I haven't set up Pronto IM yet. Hopefully that's a good instant messaging service that CNM has now. It didn't play nice with my MacBook before, but maybe I'll try it again if that's something that we want to use for communication. Also check out these help links if you need some tutorials or some support, technical support with Blackboard. A link to the libraries, that's important for the final project, for your research, and so on. So hopefully that helps in terms of understanding how the course is set up, kind of what my thinking behind all these things are, and where we're going over the next couple of weeks. I hope you have a great experience with New Mexico history. I look forward to meeting all of you and to learning from your ideas, your perspectives on New Mexico's past.